It's time for Living Your Purpose, a motivational and inspirational podcast with Peter and Joyce Nielsen.
Hey everybody, it's Peter and Joyce Nielsen, and welcome to Living Your Purpose podcast. It's on every week, whether it's YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. We just hope that you're enjoying it. If you are watching on YouTube, if you like this content, just press the link and subscribe. Today is something that I think I live with every day. It makes my life more fulfilling. And it's a topic that we're going to talk about. And it's gratitude. And I believe with all my heart, when you are filled with things that you're thankful for, it's a life changer. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, living with gratitude, it's being thankful. It's having a mindset.
It is a mindset.
It is a mindset. It's waking up and choosing to focus your thoughts on all the little things around you that are good in your life. There could be a million things going wrong, things you can't control, things you haven't achieved yet, things that are happening around you. And if you let yourself get consumed with that,
it'll suck you in.
You feed into depression, anxiety, and it changes your whole outlook on everything, and you don't have that gratitude, and it really is a mind screw.
It really, really is. And on what you just said, there's new studies out that if you fill your heart and your mind with gratefulness, you live longer, you're healthier, and you're happier. Drop mic. Like, why not try this? And I'm going to do what I normally don't do, but I'm going to give an application right now, and then we'll kind of get into the whole topic. But I challenge each and every one of you tomorrow when you get up. The way that Joyce said, it's impossible. It's an oxymoron that if you're anxiety-ridden, depressed, which is real, you have mental health issues, if you fill your brain, your heart, the first 15 minutes before you get out of bed tomorrow, and be thankful for your family. I mean, I'm so thankful for you, babe, for our children, the grandchildren, the platform that God has, entrusted us with. It's His, it's not ours. And we just want to get the news out. But if we truly fill our hearts and our minds every morning with, I'm grateful for I don't have pain today. I'm grateful for I have another day to get it better than yesterday. I'm grateful for the roof I have over my head. I'm grateful for the career that God has called me to do His works. I'm grateful for the sunset, for another sunrise. Many people will never see tomorrow's sunrise. So what Joyce said a moment ago was, if you fill your brain, your mind up with those thoughts, by the time you're walking into the kitchen, you're walking into those thoughts. No depression, no anxiety, no stress can get into the same organ, your brain, at the same time that you're feeling grateful or thankful. You need to try that, because I've been through a terrible childhood. We've both been through a lot of just trauma in our lives in different times, in different ways. And it's easy to rewrite that same character and chapter over and over again. And as Joyce will explain, the mindset of that is negative. You're being a pessimistic person. But when you're grateful, when you have gratitude, you look at and you appreciate the things you have, not the things you want. You appreciate today, not what's going to happen and wishing for tomorrow. That is living in the moment. That's being present. But it's such a mindset. And after 2 near-death experiences, pain that I didn't even know existed, a divorce that I thought the sun burnt out, childhood abuse. I am so in love with life because I choose to only allow that light in. There's too much darkness, right?
Oh, yeah. And I am a true believer in what you put out is what you get back, like the laws of attraction. So the more you are thankful, the more you are kind, the more you recognize the small blessings, the more of that is going to come back to you naturally as well.
And there is something about the attraction, the law of attraction. It's real, and even biblically, words create life or death. So if you go around, and you're the opposite of being grateful, you're resentful, you're holding a grudge, you're not forgiving, then what ends up happening is you're creating and prophesizing, excuse my expression, garbage in front of you. If you're saying you're having a tough time with your marriage, it's not going to make it. I'm trying every diet and nothing's working and I need to lose 50 pounds. I'm addicted to alcohol and smoke. If you speak that, you're probably going to be divorced, miserable, fat, and have an addiction. So I just would hope that as you're watching or listening to this week's podcast, that you embrace change. Change is inevitable. And we've done a whole podcast on change.
Yeah.
And the thing that you need to change or shift is your mind. Because being grateful, think about it. There's studies by Harvard University, the New England Journal of Medicine, have literally done 20, 30-year studies on people living and having an optimistic outlook towards life. And I could, excuse my expression, man, I could bitch all day, excuse me. I could do that, or I could think of solutions. I could complain all day and kind of like just dump on people, just dump toxic waste on them, or I can choose to create light from Him and have that transcend. And yeah, there's been moments of my day, probably every day, that could have been better, but I choose to talk about the good. It's how we react, to, what do they say? 80% of your life is how you react to all these things that basically transpire. It's so important. You have a great attitude.
And it increases your sense of well-being. It increases the connection in the relationships around you.
It does. Your dopamine, your neurotransmitters, and I won't get too technical here, but you got serotonin, that feel good. You got dopamine, you got your adrenaline. You have all these things when you work out or when you feel good, when you're in love. There's true neurotransmitters that are released, hormonal interceptors that are released that are positive. Well, if you talk bad, or if you're the opposite of being grateful or thankful, it's going to come back and smack you in the face. Here we are, like a week away from Thanksgiving. And there's so many studies on being thankful. The power of giving. I did a whole TV show on Peter's Principles going back some years ago. And I actually had Pastor Brad Powell from Northwoods Church putting a shout out to you guys out there in Plymouth, Michigan. And the show was on, a lot of times people think they feel good when people buy them stuff or they get gifts. And getting gifts could be fun. But when you get to a place in your life where you're comfortable in your skin, I call it your sweet spot, there's no better feeling, there's no better fulfillment than to pay it forward and to give. And giving, thankfulness, gratitude are all in the same stratosphere. So as we go into Thanksgiving, it gets me more filled with emotion of gratitude, filled with emotion, with gratefulness thankfulness. There's people around the world as we speak that are losing their homes. There's wars going on. It's a crazy, dark world that we live in right now, and it's forever changing. So as we go into Thanksgiving, as we bring families together, and let's be real, Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving, a lot of times people will get more anxiety, more stressful, because old memories come back with family. Alcohol gets in the picture sometimes. It's dark out for most parts of the country earlier. There's less light. So it's a perfect storm for depression, isolation, which creates addiction, and just anxiety. So if you can take a couple of these just nibbits that we're talking about today and incorporate them in your life, and I always say zip it. If you have nothing nice to say, zip it. remember that, baby.
Try. We all try.
We all try. And we are so far from perfect. But, as we go through this week, I just want each and every one of you to just maybe take a piece of paper and write all the good things in your life, all the people that have connected the dots. There are people that have connected dots that God brought down to me that I don't even see anymore. I don't even see. They came into my life like a white knight, and just saved a moment of the day, whether it was in business, in relationship. I needed a friend. I was going through something. My point is that write down those highlights of your life. Because in one of the studies, the people that wrote down all the highlights of their life, and then they had people that wrote down all the lowlights of their life and focused on that, the people that focused on the highlights of their life, they were healthier. They had better blood pressure. Their weight was under control. They had better relationships. And let's just face it, you want to be around people that are positive, not, complainers or negative, right?
Yeah, negativity is energy draining.
It sucks you dry.
It does.
It sucks you dry.
It can. And likewise, if you wake up every morning after you focus on what's grateful or what you're grateful for and blessed to have, you can think of one nice thing to do for somebody else.
Yeah.
Every day throughout the day, one act of kindness that you could pay forward. And
agreed. I mean, you hear stories. We both have done it. It's been done to us. You may be going to Starbucks and someone bought you the coffee in front of you. It's a beautiful emotion to feel loved, to feel recognized. People will remember you more on how you make them feel than what you say. And it's about how you live your life, what you do, And I mean, when I look, and I'm going to put you on the spot here, but what do I say to you every morning? I mean, my eyes may not even be open, and our feet may be just touching in bed. She always gets up earlier than I do, with the kids and the dogs, and there's a lot of energy going on in the house. But what do I always say?
Well, you tell me you think I'm beautiful even when I'm a hot mess. And when he tells me he chooses me every day.
Yeah. Because
I love him so much.
Love is a choice. So every day, I want to give her recognition and edify her on that I choose her. And she's chosen me. And God brought us together and to become one. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that it's just another example. There's not a day that goes by and I'm not grateful for our marriage. I'm not grateful for my health. I've been down twice. And just recently, I was through something, picture of health. I've had the 2 near-death experiences with Crohn's, and that's 20 years ago. I was gone for a few minutes. I flatlined, 8-hour surgery, coma for 4 days. Trust me, when you wake up and you get off of life support, you would need to be like, totally having a lobotomy not to feel grateful for your life.
It's the other thing he says when he wakes up every morning is, thank you, God, for another day.
Right.
Just something is simple. You say it's simple enough, but really it's the hugest thing.
Yeah.
You could
I mean,
have.
there's a few people that know, here we are in November 2023, and about 8-9 weeks ago, I woke up and I had some sciatic. I had back issues maybe one time 35 years ago, and it took 8 months to go away because I was running too much. But I've never had back pain, maybe some sciatic if I did deep lunges, and it would go away in a day or two. What ended up happening was I woke up and I said, babe, I have just really different pain. And I thought it was going to go away. Prayer is great. I prayed, for healing. I went to a dear friend, Dr. Mark Tarabella, in Latham Village as a chiropractor. I went to a physiatrist, great guy, Dr. Stephen Hyman. Actually did something that I really would be a last resort, got an S1 cortisone shot in my left glute by my back, by my L4. Then went for an MRI and went for a CAT scan and realized I had this tremendous L5 bulging disc. And from the day that I got it, every week it got worse to 9 weeks in, I couldn't walk from the bedroom to the kitchen. I isolated myself. I didn't want my stepkids, my wife, to see me in that much pain. Could not eat, because when you're in, people say, where's your pain? From a 1 to a 10. The pain I had was a 14. And I'm sorry. I wouldn't wish that pain on a worst enemy. I had surgery, and think about it, I'm in the business, owning health clubs, 28 years, physical therapy businesses, won 50 bodybuilding titles, covers of magazines, looks like Hercules, and I say that with humility. I was in the business to tell people not to get back surgery. It's the last result, because there's only one creator, and that's God, that created our electrical system, our spine, that's so amazing, and it's not perfected by man on how it works. It connects to your brain, your heart, your breathing, your everything, your movement. So last week I had major back surgery to L5, amazing young surgeon, Dr. Christopher Eli, and he's from Royal Oak, Michigan, and I was scared, but I had to get to a point of, here I am waking up every day being filled with gratitude, but you can speak gratitude, but you want things to evolve. So I got peace with myself that I wanted to take my life back, and I needed to give it to the throne, and we prayed about it. And I went for surgery, and she drove me there at 4 o'clock in the morning. And the surgery was about an hour, recovered for 3 hours. I walked out of the hospital without zero pain. It is like a miracle. And the reason why I'm reciting this is I'm more filled with gratitude than I've ever been. And you could ask her or anyone that knows me. I am a positive person. I do have a happy spirit, and I'm always grateful. But I am emotionally overwhelmed with gratefulness because I feel healthy. I wasn't able to sleep for more than 2 hours in 8 weeks consistently. I lost 11 pounds because I didn't want to eat, because I couldn't function. We would have a simple conversation and I wouldn't be able to remember because the pain was so severe that I felt like I was losing my mind. And she, thank you. I can only imagine how scared you were, but you were with me every step of the way.
Of course.
So, thank you.
Of course.
You know, and
You're not going anywhere.
you know, and I think for people that do know me over the years with my syndicated national TV show or radio show, or now this wonderful platform, this podcast, it's not about me, it's about we. And when God gives you a gift of a platform, it's not to build your kingdom, it's to build his kingdom. So if there's one person listening right now that's about to give up, or that's about to just, let go of life as you know it because of the pain, don't. God wouldn't have taken you this far to leave you here. And I feel renewed. I'm super excited. I have my surgeon, my chiropractor, my physiatrist, my wife, my dearest friends, my mother saying, Peter, do not overdo it. I can't work out for 6 weeks.
5.5.
5.5 now.
Halfway done.
So, those are the big things because, as my surgeon said so eloquently, it's people like you, Peter, that get the surgery the second time. It's not the couch potato that's been sedentary. It's the person like you, the professional athlete that feels like $1 billion again and wants to go out and conquer the world.
Yeah, I caught him out there trying to wipe down the car the day we got home from the surgery. Babe.
Like, what am I doing? Jim Carrey, what is his name? Jim Carrey said it best. Somebody stop me. I can't help myself. That was me, and I haven't taken painkillers. I haven't taken pain medicine for, 40 years of my life. And the painkillers that they gave me for those 8 weeks didn't touch it. It didn't touch it. When people say, how bad is that pain? When I say it was a 14, I had a hole that perforated in my ileum when I went into septic shock in front of my 2 daughters and literally was dying in front of them. That pain made me unconscious. It was unbearable. I had that kind of pain 24/7, 7 days a week.
And throughout all that, he's still like, such a beautiful day. Look at the trees, look at the leaves. And here he is, literally can hardly walk to the other side of the house. And, he's just always so positive and putting on a brave face and pushing forward. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to the surgeons. I'm grateful for God for allowing
Healing.
us to be here and heal.
Me too.
I'm grateful for life.
And I think just kind of closing this show today, but the reason why, and I wasn't expecting, we didn't talk about it. I wasn't expecting, my body's my business. I wasn't expecting to talk about this, but if this can help one person who's about to give up, who's jaded, desensitized, who's literally just angry, life is not fair. Life is definitely not fair. It's going to try to knock you out in the prime of your life. We just got married. I got the whole life ahead of us. Who wants to be sick? We want to travel and be on adventure. We love to do things together. I truly felt like I was letting her down, my family down, my company down, Zervita down, all the people that I work with that count on me to motivate and educate. But the beautiful thing is, I love, you sent it to me. It was a little meme, and it was a picture, and there was words on it, and it just said, sometimes God will slow you down because he's protecting you from danger that's in front of you. And you just don't know it. So God, I got your message. I got the memo, and I'm enjoying this moment, and I just enjoy just being alive. And I hope that you get close. If you even get 50% filled up with the gratitude and the thankfulness that I feel in my life today, you're a blessed man or woman. But that's what our hope is, and that's what our prayer is to each and every one of you. How can people find us if they want to connect with us?
You can send us an email, peter@peternielsen.com. Find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Peter Nielsen, and definitely catch us on YouTube.
Yeah, she's definitely visual, so YouTube, we're really getting a lot of nice new followers. We love what we do, and it's all about paying it forward. Knowledge is power, and as I always say, nothing's wasted in God's economy. No pain, no loss, no tear. And once you go through that, you transform to a better person, to a soul, to a spirit that's defined and closer to more on what God has destined you to be, because it's what you've been through. If you haven't been through a storm and haven't felt pain, how the heck can you be grateful for today? So whatever you guys have been through, whatever you're going through, know that this too shall pass. And when it does, embrace the moment of being pain-free. Embrace the moment of being in a great, healthy relationship. Embrace the moment of having a roof over your head with people that love you. Speak life into yourself. Speak life into other people. And stop being negative. Stop beating yourself up. It's the opposite of being grateful. Until next week, God bless each and every one of you.